Now, today's video is really super exciting. I cannot wait to talk to you about this and break this down because a lot of people don't know about this information. Today, we are going to break down down payment assistance and how to get help to purchase a home. One of the biggest things that stops people from purchasing a home is typically the down payment. But what a lot of buyers don't realize is that there may be programs out there that can help you with just that. And before you assume that you make too much or that you probably just simply don't qualify, I want you to understand exactly how down payment assistance actually works. Today, I'm gonna break down those payment assistance programs. I'm gonna let you know who may qualify, where to look for them, and the questions you absolutely have to ask before applying for these programs. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Danielle. Here we have honest conversations about buying a home, maintaining it, and all things home ownership. I'm actually a former mortgage broker and a single female homeowner. So I'm just sharing some of my experiences from a professional level and a personal level that you can probably relate to. If you want practical homeownership education without all the fluff and you want someone to get straight to the point, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this with someone who needs this. All right, let's get right into it. First, let's clear up one really big misconception. This is probably the biggest misconception that people have when they're trying to buy a house. And that is that you automatically have to put 20% down just to purchase a home. And just so you know, that is not a universal rule. And most down payments depend on the loan program that you're applying for, how you qualify as a borrower, depending on where you live. Now, if you're going with an FHA loan, you can put down as little as 3%. But the conventional loan, you could put down as little as 3.5%. So say, for example, you want to go with a conventional loan and you have to put down 3.5% on a $200,000 house. All that's expected from you is $7,000. So let's talk about exactly what down payment assistance really is. Down payment assistance refers to programs that help eligible home buyers cover some of the upfront cash that's required to purchase a home. Now, these programs are often administered through state and housing finance agencies, local governments, nonprofit organizations, housing organizations, and certain lender programs. And just remember, the key word here is assistance. I don't want you to automatically hear down payment assistance and translate that into free money. Let me tell you why. This assistance can come from all types of forms. We're talking grants, second mortgages, a deferred payment assistance, or forgivable assistance. Now, if this assistance is structured as debt, you as the buyer need to understand this. It's going to be based on the amount that's borrowed, the interest rate, the monthly payment, and when the full balance needs to come due. So if you apply for assistance and it's required to be paid back, here are some of the questions that you can ask. What happens in 5 years after having this assistance? What if I sell my home? What if I refinance, or what if I move? Now, another format that this assistance may come in is something that they call forgivable. Let me explain what that means. With this particular program, it could potentially require you as the buyer to remain in the house for a certain period or satisfy other conditions before assistance is fully given. For example, if this particular program promises to give you $10,000, forgiveness happens over a specific amount of time. If you sell too soon or refinance, move out, or otherwise trigger repayment under that particular program, you may owe some of that money back or all of it. One thing you need to say to yourself if applying for this type of assistance is, I want to know exactly what I have to do for that money to be mine. Never assume that forgivable means I never have to think about this money again. Now, there is a myth I want to dispel. When you're applying for down payment assistance, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a first-time home buyer. This is a huge misconception that I want to address. Some programs have their own definition of what a first-time home buyer means. The phrase may not necessarily mean in literal terms that this is the very first home you've ever bought in your life. The best thing to do is to let that program tell you if you qualify or not. Whatever you do, don't reject yourself before actually applying. Now, with many of these DPA programs, there could be some income limits. Those factors could include your household income, the number of people in the house, the location, your median income, and also any program-specific limits. Don't assume that down payment assistance means that you have to be in the category of low income. There also may be purchase price limits, so definitely prepare yourself for that. Of course, the home is going to need to be your primary residence, not a property that's an investment property or a property that you're renting out. You may have to take a quick home buyer education class. Now, when you take this class, it's usually online. I would say no longer than 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of your time. Real easy and real simple. Now, part of this down payment assistance can also help you with your closing costs. So if you have closing costs, prepaid taxes, insurance, appraisal, inspection, moving costs, and any immediate home expenses, it can definitely help with these costs. Also keep in mind that down payment assistance does not mean that you need $0. You have to keep in mind that you have your earnest money deposit, your home inspection, your appraisal, your moving expenses, your utility setup, any repairs, any furniture that you need to buy, and of course the list goes on and on. So it should not become your plan to purchase the house with literally no money in the bank. Also, don't assume that the biggest down payment assistance program that you apply for, or the one that they give you the most amount for, is the best decision. Let me tell you why. Imagine from program A, you get $7,500, but with program B, you're gonna get $15,000. Now with program A, with the $7,500, the terms are a little bit more favorable. With B, there's some restrictions and there's some repayment terms that you just don't think are gonna be more beneficial. That just tells you that the more money doesn't mean the better program. You don't want the most assistance. You want the assistance that gives you the best home buying situation. Now, I did create a free list that's going to tell you some places where you can find down payment assistance in your area. So make sure you click the link below and grab that. Oh, and I also include in that list any important questions that you need to ask your lender before committing to that down payment assistance program. The biggest thing that I want you to take away from this video is that down payment assistance is absolutely worth the research. Don't assume that every assistance program is going to be free money. Make sure you find out if it's a grant or a loan and whether it has to be repaid. Also, make sure you find out what happens if you refinance or sell your home. Now, I want to know in the comments before you watch this video, did you know anything about down payment assistance? Let us know what your experience has been. I hope this video helped you today, and if it did, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, send this to a friend who might need this so that we can continue to build this community. I'll see you in the next video.